Hi, Joe Murphy. This is part two. I left an earlier video about what a life principle is. I'm going to get a little bit deeper into the life principle aspect. And again, I'm not trying to sell my book, but I'm in the final stages of editing my book. And I'm going to give you some of the ideas from the book. It's a question and answer guide in these videos that I have upcoming, because I find this idea of life principles, for me anyway, so fulfilling that I want to pass this information on to you and what a life principle is. And I mentioned on the earlier video, one of my favorite sayings is from Seneca. We tend to fear in our minds these ideas about ourselves and about life more so than reality. And this is related to life principles. And the psychology of leadership, as I pointed out in the previous video, is critical to your success, because you can understand all these ideas about management terms and skills. But to get to a standpoint of leadership, it's more than just learning skills. Yes, skills are part of leadership, but it's understanding the psychology of leadership. And you have to be aware of the self. That means you and all the things that hold you back, because these same things that hold you back also relate to others. We are not very different. We are different in how we look on this outer layer, but how we're made up and how our brain functions is exactly the same. We have different experiences, but our mind functions the same. And this concept of life principles is related to how we function in the world. And I want to give you a little bit more information related to the previous video. So if you haven't watched the previous video, go back and watch it. And this will help build upon what I'm trying to get to, because this idea of psychology is really critical to your success. So life principles and how they were formed early in childhood when we were trying to get the approval of our parents or teachers or somebody, an authority figure. We also received punishment. So approval and punishment were critical parameters that parents and authority figures, teachers, religious figures, used to adjust a child's behavior to fit in to family and society. And when I say fit in, to be accepted. And there's nothing wrong with that. There are norms that we've got to live by, and that is a critical aspect in order to get along in society. The problem is that we learned to behave in a socially acceptable manner in ways that resulted in covering up our feelings, avoiding rejection, and avoiding criticism, and conforming in order to be accepted by others. Do you understand that? Does that make sense? I wonder if I should repeat that. Okay, I'm going to repeat that. So early in childhood, approval and punishment were critical parameters that parents and teachers use to adjust a child's behavior so that they can fit in to family and to society. So when I say child, it happened to me, happened to you, happened to all of us. And so we learn to behave in a socially acceptable way that resulted in covering up our feelings, avoiding rejection and criticism, and conforming in order to fit in and be accepted. This idea of being accepted and fitting in and conforming is related to where I'm going to be taking the next couple of videos, because these conditioned responses caused you to learn and adopt certain beliefs and rules, which over time became these life principles and which caused you to bend yourself in order to fit in. Do you see where I'm going with this? And we're still carrying many of these life principles around with us to bend and conform in order to fit in. I'm going to get into this in the third video, another video, so stay tuned, because this is really critical to becoming a leader and also tapping into your potential, what I call your infinite potential. I'm Joe Murphy, and I am here for your success. Thanks for watching.